My dad tied a rope around my neck and hung me from the porch roof just so he could scare some kids for Halloween. Let's get into it. It's Halloween time. What better for a Halloween than a good Halloween story? So, when I was a kid, we always celebrated Halloween. We passed out candy as far back as I can remember. I have some memories of like going trick or treating, but most of my memories are spending time on the porch with my dad and coming up with new ideas to scare the kids as they come up to get candy. So we started out just simple decorations, and then we would put like a mask or something by the bowl of candy. And that got fun. The kids were a little nervous. It was fun to watch them. Hi, happy Halloween. But then every year we started building on this. So one year we took, my dad had this, if you know what a player piano is, it'll obviously play by itself, but the old timey ones had the slide, the face of the piano, the upright piano, that had two doors that would slide open so you can get in there and tinker or whatever. He had just those two doors, just that part of the piano. And I don't know where he got this thing, but you know how dads are. They just kind of pick stuff up and collect things. Well, he had this in the basement and we dug it out and we laid it on like four buckets so that it was super low to the ground. And then we slid the two doors open. And then I crawled underneath of this board with the doors that slid open and put my head up through the doors. And my dad slid the doors closed up against my neck. Then he slid a mask over my head, threw a tablecloth with a hole in the middle of it over top of that. And then he set candy, the candy bowl, like right next to my head. It's so low to the ground. When you're looking at it, you're thinking, there's just no way a person could be involved in this. It looks like it's almost sitting on the floor, like a person just wouldn't fit. And the bowl of candy sitting there, and decorations or whatever. And the kids would come up onto the porch and they're walking around looking, they're nervous. The parents are watching, and then the kid would reach for the candy and it would be coming right by my head. And then I would, the kids would scream, running off. It got to be such a thing that every year the kids were looking. They couldn't wait to get to our house. We were just coming up with new ideas all the time. And it was so much fun scaring the kids and having a good time with it. And then this one year, we took jeans and stuffed the jeans and a flannel shirt and found some kind of a head to put in there, put the mask over, and we just laid this thing on the porch and put the bowl of candy in the arm of this makeshift dummy, this Halloween dummy. And that got every one of those kids like, oh my gosh, it looks like it could be a person. But they would come up and get the candy and nothing would happen. It was just fun watching them, the anticipation of it. Then the following year, there were two, and then there were three, until we had six dummies laying there. And then on the year we put six, it was actually five, and I was number six, laying there, bowl of candy. By then, we had built up a little bit of trust with the kids because they haven't really been startled. They've been scared, but not startled in a while. So as the kids would reach for the candy, I would be laying there, bowl next to me, and I looked like the worst dressed one. We did that part on purpose too, so that Of all the ones laying there, it looked like I was the least likely to be. So the kids would come up and reach for the candy. Don't get him again. And that was probably one of the funnest years until the following year. My dad and I are a couple weeks before trick or treat night, and we're discussing what are we going to do this year. And he's racking his brain. His critical thinking skills are kicking in. He's trying to come up with an idea. We've got to get him good this year. So we put it all together. We put the table with the sliding doors, put the mask over a head, and then an empty bowl of candy, and slid it up near the steps, and then lined the steps with the dummies, the 6 dummies. And then my dad said, "All right, we're going to add another dummy." So my dad went up onto the roof of the porch and screwed down this like 2x4, but he took a rope and he wrapped it around that 2x4 before he screwed it down. So it was fastened onto there, and that rope was good and tight. Hung the rope over the edge. When the rope came down, it was hanging just over the dummies and right by the head with the bowl. So I'm like, "Dad, what are you going to do with this?" And he said, "I got an idea." Then he fashioned 4 bicycle inner tubes in with the rope somehow, so that it was like 2 up high and 2 down low. And he had me get in this contraption that he built. Bicycle inner tube here, bicycle inner tube here, and then again for my legs. And he set it so that I was almost on my tiptoes and I'm on a step so that I can hold myself up. But if I stepped off of that step, I was just suspended. Here I am, just hanging in this harness, this makeshift harness that my dad made. And then he started dressing me up, putting the shirt on me and stuffing the pants with leaves, slid the mask over my head. And he was like, still not perfect. It still looks like that could be a person hanging there. So he went and got another rope, a short one, and he fashioned a noose and slid it over my head and then tied the short rope to the long rope so that at first glance, it looks like I'm hanging by my neck. And he did a really good job. It's like, there's no way that this hanging object that looks like it's a person is actually hanging from their neck. The way he did it, you never saw the actual rope that got tied to the harness. You only saw the rope that went around my neck. And of course, I'm hanging there, and it looks like I've been hung by my neck. So I'm hanging and swinging. We did a couple practice runs, and then it just starts to get dusk. And I think nowadays they make the kids get off the street when it gets dusk. But back in those days, you didn't even start trick or treating until it started getting dark. You wanted to be a little scared. So here I am hanging there, just getting dusk. By then, we've got Halloween lights and we've got it all decorated. And I'm swinging, just hanging there. Here come the kids. And they walk up and they're like, "What is going on? There's so many things. There's the dummies lined up. Any one of them could be a person. There's the head on the table. It's back. The head on the table. Now the bowl's full of candy." And so they're checking the whole thing out. And I'm watching them through the mask. Then they look up at me. And every time it's like they dismissed me. It had to be one of the other ones. They were poking, doing the little investigation. And they finally got the bravery and took a couple steps up. And that bowl of candy is just kind of there next to me. And as the kids would reach out their hand, staring everywhere, and they start to put their hand in that bowl, I would come to life. And the kids would scream. I mean, it scared the parents. The parents never suspected that that person, that thing hanging there by its neck, was going to come to life. Happy Halloween, everybody.